Hey, what's up, y'all? It's a conservative nerd here. I'm gonna go a little off of the comic train a little bit here. I want to talk about, well, this will all tie in. But, Harvey Weinstein, okay? Harvey Weinstein is, if you haven't heard yet, and I'm sure most of you have heard, he was a big producer in Hollywood. He had his own production company, and he molested, raped, made people bang him for jobs, paid people off when they threatened him. This has been going on for like 30, 40 years. So, if you look at a lot of the women that worked for Harvey over the years, well, there's Ashley Judd and Madonna and Meryl Streep, you and Jennifer Lawrence. If you want to find a big mouth feminist, look no further than the women of Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, man. Here's why they're feminists, and here's why they hate white males, and here's why the patriarchy and all that crap comes out of their mouths all the time. Because they did horrible things to get where they are, to make it rich and famous. They sucked off that fat piece of crap and did nasty things for this fat slob, this gross fat slob, or whatever gross nasty person they had to go through to get a job. It's probably all over Hollywood. So, because of their own guilt of being rotten, evil people, they project it onto all of us. It's called projection. It's what they do. Yeah, they're ashamed of themselves, so then they act like we're all scumbags. That's Hollywood. That's, everything. Now, I've talked about my stand-up comedy days before, but I never talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it now. I'm not going to say the name of the writer, but we used to run the open mic at a comedy club, and then we'd host shows like, you'd run the open mic on Wednesday, and then you host shows Thursday, Friday, one show Thursday, and 2 shows Friday, and 2 shows Saturday. And, well, one of the comics we were working with one time was a writer for the Chelsea Handler show. Not the new one, but the old one. This was like 15 years ago. Maybe more. It's been so long. So, she was telling us, she got drunk and was just running her mouth, really. But she was telling us, Chelsea Handler's a humongous cokehead. A humongous whore. She's telling us how she just goes picks dudes up, man. She'll just drive down to the ghetto and pick up dudes and take them home and bang them. Wow. Yeah, and this is the woman rallying against Trump and how evil he is and calling Melania a whore. Like, you pick guys up just to bang them. You are the queen of whores. And you're a cokehead. Like, I even asked her, I was like, don't you guys worry about, like, getting caught with that and, like, ruining your career? Oh, everybody does it. Well, not really, because here's another story. Pauly Shore was in town one time, and he was telling a story, again, drunk and just running his mouth, about how he took Paris Hilton home one night, and the next morning he had to be at Disney for a meeting with big exec, and she's like, just take my car. I don't know why. He ended up taking her car. I don't remember why. He probably said, I don't know. But anyways, he took her car, and the guy wanted to go have lunch. So he was like, oh, I'll just pick you up, and you just hop in, and we'll go get lunch. So he went and picked the guy up, and the guy got in, and then the guy looked on the floorboard, was a humongous bag of Coke flew out from underneath the passenger seat, like a pound of Coke, and they immediately were not happy. I guess it killed his career, according to him, at Disney. So, what are you doing? Get down. You want to ruin videos, girl? I will squirt you. Oh, boom. All right. Ignore that. So, so you ruined the video, girl. So Pauly Shore, like, they're all coked out crazy people, man. Like, they're druggies, but they want to be the moral compass of the world, and it makes no sense. Now, on to my next thing. here is I was kind of shocked. I was looking at some of the responses that Ethan Van Sciver gets, who's probably the best artist in comics right now, and he doesn't talk about politics or nothing on his Twitter or nothing. So not talking about politics now gets you harassed too? Like, these people are crazy, man. Like, and it's all projection, man. You think... I was looking at a tweet that Jeremy Whitley sent out, like, just an hour ago. And he was saying how Diversity in Comics is a failed comic book writer that did videos because he couldn't make it into comics, and now because of his videos, he never will. Like, first off, nobody's like, oh, I didn't make these YouTube videos saying, oh, I'm going to get a job at Marvel. No, I just used to like comics. I seen how shitty they are now, and I decided to say, hey, man, what's wrong? And it's the socialism. It's your left-wingness, man. You've gotten so far left, man. I mean, you want to call people all right. This is like, you are a lunatic left, man. And the guy's Diversity Comics never said anything. He just criticizes bad comments. So what I think it's projectionism. Jeremy Whitley's not happy. Because I've seen other tweets of Jeremy Whitley's where he's complained about if he would have stayed in business, he made more money and he wouldn't have to put up with people. So it sounds to me like Jeremy Whitley is bitter and he's sad and he's envious. I think a lot of these people are envious of the DNC because he can say what he wants. He can speak his mind. He doesn't have to have groupthink. And I think that's a lot of this is, especially Hollywood and comics and the entertainment industry, it's groupthink. They want us all to think alike. And they're kind of pissed, I think, a lot of them are. Because they can't say what they want. Because they'll lose their jobs. If you're not far left, you'll lose your jobs in Hollywood. You'll lose your jobs in this. And it's one of the reasons I really... Well, I had a partner and we did stand-up together. And one of the reasons we were a duo, kind of like a Cheech and Chong thing. And one of the reasons we both never really... You know, it was just a hobby and a little money here and there. But... we're not left wing, man. We're not crazy people. I really like Hollywood is so far left wing. It's insane. You want to hear another thing that's gotten crazy about stand up? A buddy of mine was telling me, this was a few months ago, he was telling me they hand you a list now when you go to colleges. Back, you know, even 10 years ago, you know, like when you did a college, like it was still pretty, you know, you flexible. You could say what you wanted. And we never really talked about politics or religion or race, so we really never had to worry about being too offensive. But because I don't want to offend anybody's politics or religion or anything. But now at colleges they send you this they give you this list when you get there of 100 things you can't talk about, and one of the things on the list is the differences between men and women. And my buddy was saying, like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because that's like my whole set is just the difference between me and my wife. Is like, he's like, they're like, oh, you can't talk about the differences between men and women because there is no difference between men and women. Yeah, so he ended up just finding a bunch of old jokes on his phone. He said the set charged terrible, but they had to pay him. So, yeah, that's what it's come to now. These crazy liberal nut jobs, man. I'll tell you. So, yeah, they pretty much ruined everything. Like, Saturday Night Live's unwatchable. Most of the comics are unreadable. DC's still pretty good. I will say that for some reason they managed to keep their head above the SJW water, but for how long? I mean, for how long? Because I tell you what, man, the liberals have taken over, and who knows between how long we got until we're just a socialist country, man. Because, I mean, they got the media, they pump it out 24/7, man. Since Trump got elected, it was just like, all right, no more entertainment, none. You can't have any, not football, I can't watch sports anymore. Thank God I'm still a wrestling fan, because if it wasn't for wrestling, I'd have nothing to watch other than YouTube videos, because I hate liberal Hollywood. I despise them. Once in a while I'll see a movie, but for the most part, they're too liberal too. they're liberal, insane people that do horrible things to each other, drug addicts and sex addicts and nut jobs. But they want to tell the rest of us how to live. Wow, yeah. Excuse me, but sorry I'm not a cokehead. I'm sorry, I don't rape women and then cover it up because I want to be rich, Yeah. Crazy buttholes. But yeah, so this is just a rambling video, you guys. I just kind of want to talk about this stuff because I just find it to be insane. It's showing us how hypocritical they are. I mean, they want to rally against Trump all day, but then they'll cover up Harvey Weinstein. What? Are you mad because I squirted you? Well, don't get on the table. Yeah, this is a cool video, watching a grown man talk to his cat. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about that. If you want to hear some more stories from the stand-up world, I can always throw those out there. I mean, I got a few interesting ones. They're not all that interesting, I mean, one of the things that killed us in stand-up was my partner called the manager at a comedy store a rotten fucking cunt. And he was right for it, because she was being a rotten fucking cunt. But, yeah, that's kind of frowned on in the booking community. But, yeah, so, you guys have a good day, and as always, you try to enjoy the comics, and try to enjoy entertainment as much as we can, man, because it's become a liberal propaganda zone. It's almost impossible to pick up something that isn't filled with liberal propaganda anymore, and it's sad. It really is, because that's not their job. If, Jimmy Kimmel's job is not to cry and complain about the government. It's not, Jimmy Kimmel's job is to tell bad jokes, and, yeah, give Steven Crowder a late night talk show. How about that? Something different at least. I don't understand why there's, late night talk shows are, they're all insanely liberal. It seems like somebody'd be like, well, there's another audience out there. And anytime you say, well, half the country is, ignored by the media or comics, and people go, this is not half the country. This is not half the country. Bullshit. You're going to tell me that, what? That half the country is more than half the country is a liberal socialist nut job. No. All of California is liberal. I'll give you that. They're all mostly liberals. There's a few people that have moved out of there, but for the most part, the working class, because you can't live, they tax you into oblivion in California. A buddy of mine was an actor out there, and he was telling me how there were 7 of them in an apartment, and he still paid $1,000 a month. In a 3-bedroom apartment, 7 of them had to split their rent to live out there. Whoa, man, you paying $7,000 to live in a 3-bedroom apartment, and that he said was pretty much in the ghetto? Yeah. Who wants that? Who wants to live in that shit? But yeah, they can have California, man. I'd say we just cut it right off and let it float out in the ocean. It can be its own little island. And we'll have, peaceful, tranquil Arizona Bay we can all sip margaritas on and just look at the lunatics in California. Maybe we can move New York with them. But yeah, I don't think New York's as bad. I think if you got rid of California, this country would be a lot better. I'm surprised no one has put a conservative studio together, to make entertainment. It seems like now would be the greatest time, because I still swear that half this country is just giving the finger when it comes to entertainment. And to them, oh, well, we're all Nazis. But no, it's just, there's some great Republican movies that were made, especially in the 70s, Dirty Harry, Blazing Saddles, Animal House. These are movies that you couldn't even make today. And so, yeah, that's what I want to talk about, is the fall of any entertainment that isn't super left-wing. All I have right now is YouTube and wrestling. That's it. It's some DC. And some DC comics. But other than that, everything is so far left. It's just wow, man, this sucks. And there's nothing wrong with some left-wing stuff if it's done right. But it's done right now, this is the right way. This is evil. And the world doesn't work like that. There's no black and white. It's shades of gray. I mean, look at Harvey Weinstein. He was a far, far left liberal, and he was raping women, and you covered up for him, so you're scumbags. Hollywood. Harvey Weinstein's proven you're scumbags. Trump's proven you're scumbags. And the thing I say about Trump is, Trump isn't genocide. He isn't Hitler. He's a doofus. He's a narcissist. But he's not Hitler. It's not genocide. There's no concentration camps. And I see him talk about this stuff all the time. I'm like, where is this genocide? Do you even know what genocide is? And I always see the people from the trans community. It's genocide on us. Where? Where's the genocide? First off, you're not a race, so it's not genocide. Okay? You're not a race. You're just a bunch of people with a mental illness. It's called body dysmorphia. You're not happy in your own body. And you're not going to be happy after the surgery. Because that's what body dysmorphia is. It means you're never going to be happy in your own body. You're mentally ill. You're not a race. Nobody's trying to kill you. At best, somebody might say, you got a disease. And then to you, that's genocide. To you, that's genocide. That someone doesn't agree with you. That's genocide. So, yeah. It's not genocide. It's just somebody not agreeing with you. Your feelings mean nothing to me, okay? Your feelings mean nothing to the government. They should never mean anything to the government. The government has one job to do, and that's keep us safe, give us some schools, give us some firemen and policemen, stuff like that. It's not here to pay for your college. It's not here to pay for your kids. It's not here to pay for your birth control. It's not here to pay for your abortions. Like, why should the government do all that? Like, do it yourself, man. Who wants to be a slave to the government? Liberals. And the rich ones, see, the well-off ones, see, what they want is they'll stay rich. Because, you got somebody like a Bernie Sanders, he's a 96% tax. That's going to wipe the middle class right off the planet. So everybody's equal except for rich. There's rich and then there's poor. And there's no in between. There's no upper poor or lower poor or middle poor. It's just poor. You want food? Go stand in line. You want bread? Go stand in line. You want toilet paper? Go stand in line. Oh, we ran out? Starved. That's what happened in Venezuela. They want to tell you the government was making deals with Trump. No, they weren't. They're a socialist government. They ran out of food. Governments aren't good. Go to the DMV. Is that how you want to get fed? Is it the DMV? Sitting around for 2 hours waiting for a piece of bread? Oh, we ran out. Tough. Yeah. That's what happened in Venezuela. That's what'll happen here. It'll even be worse here. If we get socialism here, it'll be even worse. Because we have such a bloated, just humongous, bloated, disgusting government. Evil and greedy. And if we get socialism, we're gonna hell on earth in here. I mean, it'll be worse than any socialist country ever. I'm telling you what. And we're gonna get it. But when we get it, it's gonna be hell on earth. Or hell in America. Because this country will go to hell so fast. I mean, poor people are starving on the streets, and that's what it's going to be. Socialism is a nightmare. Socialism is the government in your business 24/7. If you want anything, you have to go stand in a line, and the government will give it to you. If they have enough left. Which they might not, because they get 5 times what you get. And then you get a little bit, and they get all of it. And then they hand it out how they see fit. Yeah. That's what you're fighting for, morons. Jeremy Whitley. Piece of shit. Yeah, Shitly Whitley. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Just a rambling video. Just talking about